A whistleblower is sounding the alarm on a data analytics firm that harvested information from millions of Americans without their permission. The firm is called Cambridge Analytica. They reportedly took information from over 50 million users, in part to help Donald Trump get elected in 2016.
What people in civil society, what I protest most strongly, is mass surveillance, indiscriminate surveillance where they're watching everyone.
A lot of these companies like Facebook, like Google, even like companies like Amazon and stuff, they are taking this data. They're not just tracking what you search, they're tracking like how long you spent on their site, how long you spent on that search query, how long it took you to type that in. They're taking all this data and they're feeding it to artificial intelligence algorithms, and those algorithms are being used to like market to you like better, to give you ads that like will make you want to buy those types of products.
If we let the big guys, the Googles and the Facebooks and Twitters and Instagrams and Snapchats of the world, if we let them collect data, and they do what they said they were going to do, and they actually make your experience better, Google's the best at that. They really do care about the experience. Then yes. Is it giving up some of your privacy? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But you've already given up most of that. It's actually improving your experience by remembering what you like, remembering what you do, so that even when you search Google, it's called bubbling profiling, even when you search Google, Google brings back what it thinks you want.
So the company has been in business for several years, and it looks to harvest social media data to do strategic targeting. Their specialty was in a form of research called PsyOps. So they could start to learn about personality traits of people, and then through supplemented data gathered through Facebook, and in this case, Facebook is reporting that it was not gathered properly, they were able to do strategic targeting around the United States in the hopes of influencing the election.
Very few people really understand that you own the data that Facebook uses and sells, and you can be paid for that. There are now emerging groups that will negotiate. I mean, it's a very simple thing. You buy a $50 membership in a co-op that I've known about here in Dallas, and it will go to all of the majors and say, you can no longer use data without paying her. And if you don't agree, then you have to stop collecting this data. Now, that's now approved by federal law. So you own your data.
So the devices like the Amazon Alexa and the Google Home and everything like that, it's definitely a new technology. And I believe where a lot of people get frightened or scared about them is when they start talking or go off on themselves. I've had this happen myself. But it's not necessarily because they're listening all the time for anything and everything you're doing. It's a new technology, and it gets confused sometimes and may think that you say that wake word even though that you haven't.
The government has the same technology. They may or may not use it in the same way. I don't know. I can promise there's a lot of people that watch very carefully what the government does, and they would blow that whistle very quickly if they detected things. That's why we hear about it every time they try to force a company like Apple to break into phones. Mm-hmm. And the judges have to intervene whether I can make you unlock the phone. That's been proved. So I think we have to assume. Here's the bottom line. Assume that everybody knows everything you say and do online. You have to be careful, but you have to assume everything's out there.
I would say that, People are able to exploit systems that aren't regulated. If anything, this underscores that maybe this wasn't a traditional breach per se, but essentially there was nothing preventing and protecting users of Facebook from having their data used in ways that they didn't agree to. What I'm focused on is our data, being protected, our users safe, and I would argue no. I think this has really highlighted that we need more regulation in this space to make sure that the companies are protecting users.
While it may not be a problem that the companies are storing this data, it definitely is an issue that needs to be examined and looked after going forward. It's just going to grow as a business and as a potential issue. So some regulation may be necessary to keep everybody in check, keep everybody on level playing ground, and make sure everybody's doing the right thing.
I start listening when I hear the wake word. For more information and to view Amazon's privacy notice, visit the Help section of the Alexa app.